Hey everyone, welcome to another session with Tanya McKenzie of Sand and Shores, coming to you today to chat with you about another awesome tool, part of the solutions for small businesses and those looking for media attention and looking to elevate your message and build your reputation. Today, I'm lucky enough to be bringing you Kelly Byrd Martin, who began her career in public relations and is now the product marketing lead of Notified. Notified is new to me too. So I'm glad I get to go through this with you all. But remember, we are here to help you find solutions for your business to be able to do all the cool things you really want to do. So without further ado, we're going to hear more about Kelly's career, more about Notified, and obviously how you can get your hands on such an awesome tool. So let's go ahead and bring in Miss Kelly Byrd Martin. Hi.
Hi, Tanya. Thank you so much for having me today.
I am so excited to have you here. We've been trying to do this for a while, but what I know for sure is that my audience needs tools and solutions like yours. And the ability for you and I to be able to have this conversation and show them a few things about Notified, I think is pretty exciting. And I hope they absolutely take advantage of the information. And you know what? You don't know what you don't know. So thank you for being here. Tell them a little bit more about your career and how you wound up with Notified.
Sure. Well, nice to meet everyone who's watching or who will watch this live or recorded. Again, I'm Kelly Byrd Martin, and I'm the Director of Product Marketing at Notified. And I actually started my career in public relations at Weber Shandwick in their technology group, focusing on advertising and marketing technologies, and went to a few smaller PR firms, leading PR and social combo teams. Spent a few years at a social media marketing agency called Likeable Media. And then I went from working largely with technology-related clients over the many years in agency to working for technology, and not just any technology, but technology that supports public relations professionals. So I've been in this interesting kind of career vortex where I still work in the public relations industry, but I'm not, in a media relations or traditional public relations role. And so my expertise is really in public relations measurement. And so at Notified, among some services in events and investor relations, we also have a software and services that focus on public relations. And so that's what I'm here to talk about today.
Awesome. Listen, we have been discussing recently within our PR groups about what PR actually is. So, since you've been in the industry for so long, tap into that a little bit. What is public relations to you?
Yeah, well, that is always a great question. I think, first of all, it depends, of course, on like the size and stage of a company, right? In smaller businesses or anyone who's running their own business knows that public relations for you can mean a lot more things than it might for someone who's in a big global enterprise where they have a more specific role. I think a lot of people think of public relations as solely media relations, pitching the media, having those conversations, arranging the interviews, maybe doing media training, speaking opportunities, things like that. But for me, public relations, and in my experiences, really it can be all the different ways that a company speaks to their publics. And that can include their customers, that can include their investors, that can include internally employees, and of course, it can also include the media. And so it really varies, but I think of it that way.
So, why don't we use communications instead of public relations? Because what you are talking about, and it sounds like Notified is more of a holistic solution for communications rather than just public relations when you're talking about your investors and things of that, events. We're going a little deeper than just public relations. So, where's that line between do I need this for public relations or do I need this for my holistic communication solution?
Yeah, so Notified as a company overall, and this is kind of our newest brand name. This company has a bunch of mergers and acquisitions come together. So some of it used to be a part of NASDAQ. There were several startups that kind of came together to form Notified. Overall, we provide technology and services to support communications. And those are all those audiences I mentioned, including investor relations and including different audiences you might speak to in events internally and externally. But we have three pillars of our business: events, investor relations and public relations. And so in the public relations pillar, which is what I'm kind of representing today, we do focus on working with public relations professionals, everything from press release distribution through to measurement.
Thank you for clarifying that. I hope you guys know I'm usually just trying to ask the questions that I feel like you guys have questions so that you can get some answers. You leave here better than you arrived. So thank you for that. Thank you for clearing that up and helping to bring some understanding in the comms industry. So thanks so much. I'm going to go ahead and pop up this awesome presentation that you have. Now, let's go ahead and, let me know, talk me through this, because I'm trying to learn just like my audience. So teach me, girl, teach me.
Sure. Well, thanks for giving me the opportunity to do so. So first of all, this is just a couple of slides. We're not going to do a huge presentation here, but I just thought some visuals might help to talk about, again, like who is notified, and specifically when it comes to public relations, what do we offer? So as I mentioned, Notified is kind of a bunch of former companies come together. So part of this used to be in NASDAQ. Notified itself was a company based out of Sweden that developed some really innovative PR measurement technology. That's a part of our offerings now. We were all merged together under a company called Intrado, which is our parent company. We used to be referred to as Intrado Digital Media. And in September of 2021, we all officially collectively became Notified. So that's how the naming came to be.
Tell me really quick, because we talk about this often, digital media, digital PR. When did we make this transition into the digital world so that everything that we're doing now is digital and your footprint is important? Like, talk us through that a little bit.
Yeah, well, I'll say that I started my career in public relations in 2008, and I think it was pretty much around that time that a lot of this transition to digital at least began in a significant way in terms of, how people selected their agency partners, how budgets were allocated, and the fact that many public relations teams, both agency and in-house side, became responsible for things like social media in addition to some of the more traditional public relations role and responsibilities. So about 15 so years.
Sounds about right. So listen, if y'all ain't caught up yet and made the transition, you're behind.
And then just in terms of like, how does Notified fit out there in the world? So again, we offer different services for events and investor relations in addition to public relations. We're the #1 provider of webcasting and events to enterprises globally. We're also the #1 distributor of investor relations press releases through GlobeNewswire, which is one of our products. And through that, more broadly, we're the #3 distributor of press releases globally. And we are truly a global team. We've got offices in 17 countries, customers in over 90, and our employees speak over 23 languages. So if you or a client of yours, needs a kind of global partner, Notified is an option for you. And then again, our kind of overall focus as a company is helping you to reach and engage your customers, investors, employees, and the media, and of course, any other key audiences through those products, which fall under what we call our clouds, our event cloud, public relations cloud, and investor relations cloud. And so for our public relations cloud, and this will be the last of the slides, we offer a software called the Notified PR Platform. And then we also have a suite of services, which we call Insights and Analytics. And so the software, as I mentioned, does everything from press release distribution, media monitoring, your contacts database. We've got several options for PR measurement and reporting, alerts, et cetera. And our services team helps to build some of those more custom, maybe more in-depth and more insights-filled reports, as well as daily media briefs when you just need a roundup of mentions of your company or your client or their competitors or industry terms and things like that.
How does this company compare to others that you've worked for?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I actually, I spent a few years at a smaller organization that also offers public relations software and some similar services. And I think the first thing that actually we just highlighted here is that Notified truly does have that global reach, that global scope, and has been doing this for a very long time. So, when we showed that kind of slide of the merger of logos, we started with NASDAQ at the top, but even prior to that, There were companies that came together under the NASDAQ umbrella, including MarketWired and, Sysomos and some other technology previously in that term. And so collectively, I work with some professionals who have been supporting public relations and building public relations tools and services for 20 plus years, 15 plus years. And so we've got a lot of people with some good tenure and a great understanding of how to best support public relations professionals, everything from SMB up to enterprise.
Awesome. So we're not going to give away too much today, but if I'm a novice PR person, is this something that would work for me, or is this for the more advanced agency PR pro?
Yeah, so the majority of customers that we work with do kind of fall under the SMB or fall into the SMB kind of bucket. And so I would say both. And we do work with both agency and, in-house or kind of freelance clients. I think the biggest thing to think about is your public relations kind of program or the work that you're doing largely focused on kind of getting that larger presence out there in the media and in the public, whether it be from kind of building or maintaining a newsroom of sorts or like a landing page and things like that, or through more traditional media relations where you want to be able to monitor all the mentions of your company or client out there in the world and track that holistically. And then secondly, this can be optional. It doesn't have to be a part of working with us, but do you want to be able to measure all of that work and be able to have a partner who can help you, whether it's automate or customize some of the reporting that either you're doing or you'd like to be doing to show off the value of your work, the impact that it has on a business.
Awesome. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look here. I love it. I love these colors. I don't know what it is about these colors.
Me too.
Do they have meaning? Like what?
They do actually for us. So the purple is kind of, you'll see everything around our PR cloud in that purple color, the green for our investor relations cloud and the blue for events. But beyond that, not necessarily, but I like that they're kind of bright and engaging.
I do. I absolutely do. So let the people know where to go to get, there it is, to get their demo. When they request their demo, because I think it's important that everyone get their own demo, what happens? What does that process look like?
Yeah, sure. So once you go to notified.com, very easy. As Tanya showed, you can right on the homepage, click the request a demo button in the top right, or you can take the time to read a little bit of the pages if you prefer to do that first and see more information about what we offer under the public relations umbrella. But that request a demo kind of form and your information will go to our business development team, and then they'll just reach out to you to see what time works best for you to schedule a demo and take you through what we offer and see if it could be a fit for you.
Awesome. So here at the public relations tab, talk us through this a little bit. And why, just out of curiosity, and I know we've talked about this, but I'm sure many of them want to know, how did events get mixed into this platform? So we got investor relations, we understand that, public relations, everybody that's involved in the company probably should be on the same page. Events, this is new for me. So I'm sure it's new for a lot of people. Talk us through that.
Yeah, sure. Well, I can also, after this, kind of share my screen as well to show a little bit of the platform itself, if it's helpful too. But the events component is, again, just largely that as a company overall, we're trying to help with all different forms of digital communication. And, anyone who was involved in any way with a company event or announcement in the past 2 years knows that digital events has been an increasing area of focus, and kind of having technology for that, especially if pivoting from an in-person event that can work at scale, has been pretty important. And so even if, there's kind of a different department at the company beyond public relations who's responsible for putting those events together, the audience probably usually includes some members of the media you might invite if it's an external event, or some other stakeholders that the public relations team also wants to speak to on a regular basis.
That is interesting. So yes, you address virtual, hybrid, and in-person events. Super cool. What is the most intriguing piece for you with all the companies that you've worked for? The biggest aha for you with Notified and what it does in the public relations realm? I
think the biggest aha is when people realize that I think a lot of marketing teams, or I know that a lot of marketing teams have been using data of various kinds, right, to kind of report on their work, show the impact of their work, show their value of their work. And in the end, all of that really leads to more budget. And not just more budget to run ads, but more budget to hire people to help with marketing efforts. And public relations professionals can do the same exact thing, right? I think most public relations teams at any organization, including in a large global enterprise, still might always think it would be really great if we could have one or two more people here, or an additional agency partner, or, an agency partner period, a little more kind of money to work with to help support the work you want to do. And I think increasingly over time, in order to kind of get that support that you need and that you can really benefit from, and your company and client can benefit from, you need to be able to show some of the data about the work that you're doing. And I do think more and more simply showing just kind of volume of placements or media mentions is not necessarily enough. And so I think some people might be hesitant about, oh gosh, what data do I have to show? And marketing has all these CPM and CPC, and what does all of this mean? It doesn't have to be that kind of in-depth or necessarily confusing for public relations, but even tracking things like sentiment. How does that shift over time? What's the social engagement for your online mentions? Are people sharing it and spreading it? Are they interested in it? Do you see people passing it around? Even some key indicators like that can be really helpful, and also help people across a company, or certainly a client if you're an agency, to understand how you're helping them to kind of grow their business.
I appreciate that. Is there any industry in particular that is best fit for Notified?
I wouldn't say so. We actually work with a pretty broad swath of industries. We've got a lot of customers who are everything from law firms to manufacturing type organizations to financial services, some CPG companies. So I think it's pretty diverse. But again, it's not so much about the industry. It's more so about how you can kind of benefit from the tools and also the data that's available in our PR platform.
Is there anything that is, in regards to data and reports and things of that nature, anything that is unique to Notified, something that Notified does that no one else does?
Yeah, well, one thing we're really excited about that we launched in 2021 actually is a feature called Coverage Books. So anyone who's been working in PR for a long time will think of this in the physical version rather than the digital version, which is like a clippings book where you would, cut out the placement in the newspaper or the magazine. And many people are still doing this, where you have the physical placements, right, the print placements, and kind of keeping them in a flip book that you can show off and share and spread around. And so we've built a digital version of that can be customized with your logo, your colors, your branding, so that it fits your overall look and feel, or that of your client. Or in the case of an agency, you can add both your logo and the client's logo and things like that, and show off some of the top coverage highlights in a way that's just more visual and more engaging than the typical charts and graphs. And then another thing I think that's important to mention is our alerts feature. So you have the ability with us to look at everything from an instant alert, meaning you can receive an alert anytime a certain keyword or company or product name is mentioned in the media. And that can be across online, print, TV, radio, podcasts, forums, as well as social media, including Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and TikTok. And you can also set those alerts at a peak. Maybe you don't want to get an email every single time there's a mention, but maybe when there's more than 100 or more than 50. And so you can have that feature as well. And that's not only critical during, maybe an event or around a company announcement or something else pivotal as a part of a campaign, but of course also to kind of help to avoid any potential crisis situations or things like that, where there might be a flood of mentions.
Why wouldn't they? Just walk me through this for someone that's thinking, yeah, that's cool, but I can just do a Google alert.
Yeah.
It's not a Google alert. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I knew you were going to ask that. So I think when you set up a Google alert, of course, free, easy to do. We've all done it. That can do a similar thing, right? It can let you know and send you an email when something is mentioned or a combination is mentioned, like, Kelly Byrd Martin plus notified, right? I can set that up pretty easily. But what happens after that is I get the email and I can click maybe on the link to kind of see the article, and it ends there. Whereas if you're doing this in a tool like the Notified PR platform that has some more capabilities to help you throughout the rest of your work, you can also then open up that article, but again, you can see some key information like, well, what is the sentiment of the article? You can see who is the author that wrote this article, what publication or publications do they contribute to? Click into our media contacts database and get some information about them, get their kind of standard profile with their email or their Twitter handle if they're active there, but also see what other recent articles have they published? Who else do they cover? Do they also talk about your competitors or someone else in your space? Might you want to pitch them a follow-up or a roundup story? Things like that. And then in the case that you want to highlight this mention and share it with others, you can use some of the capabilities like our reporting or like those coverage books that I mentioned to help kind of show this off and share it with people in real time.
I love that. Listen, I appreciate you sharing with the people. If they want to, is there any alternative instead of clicking here and getting a demo? Is there someone that they can contact? People be like, I want a more personal experience, or are they just safe with the clicking here and getting the demo? Because
yeah, the best
feeling after this, there are going to be some people that are interested in checking out Notified.
Yeah, I hope so. The best way to do it would be, again, either go to notified.com and you can click that request a demo and fill out the form, or you can just email us, contact us at notified.com. And the reason I'm telling you to email that instead of to me is because that will go to a whole team of people who will respond much faster and help you to get set up to get more information, help to answer your questions, or again, set you up of a demo to actually see the technology in action and how it might work for you.
Awesome. Listen, guys, her information is down in the captions. Make sure if it's something that you're interested in, if you feel like it can help your business, you get in contact with her. Please do. Ms. Kelly, I want to thank you for your time today. I want to thank you for sharing your knowledge and your experience with the audience. I think it's important, especially people that tune in to our Sand and Shores broadcast, understand that it's all about learning new ways to grow and improve your business. And I absolutely believe that Notified is one of those ways. Listen, we have some great people that actually watch this. And I know for a fact that Notified has events. So how can they be abreast of opportunities to either be at or be a part of the events that Notified has?
Yeah, well, first of all, we're going to have a presence at the PRSA annual conference in Dallas in a few weeks' time. So in case anybody's going to be there, please come see us. We'll have a booth. We also have a presentation on Monday, November 14th. And so, I will be there with several of my colleagues. So please come say hi if you're there. And beyond that, we regularly host webinars and other events, both digitally and in person. I would say more so digitally at this point right now. And you can get all of that information about what's upcoming for us also at notified.com. I think there is kind of an about us area, and then it'll say webinars. We've also got a pretty robust blog. So if anyone wants to kind of see, do you guys really have that expertise and what are you even talking about? We've got some great contributors like Michelle Garrett and some other industry professionals who kind of lend their voice as well as members of our team. And so please, see that as a resource as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for taking the time to spend with us. And please keep in touch. If you have anything going on you want us to share with the audience, make sure you let us know. We're happy to share. We want to make sure that everybody finds the tools and the solutions that they need to help build and grow their business. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much for your time. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm active there as well. Have a great day.
Awesome.
Bye, everyone.
All right, good people. Listen, it's important that you at least explore the opportunity to understand a little deeper about this tool and how it can help your business. Get a demo. I mean, a real customized demo for you and your business. Everyone, you're in different industries. You're you're looking for different things, how you are actually sharing that information with your investors and your shareholders and your public. Because once you get placed and you get this great coverage, how are you sharing it? And then how does it resonate out in the public? All of these things are important into how you build a great reputation for your business and for yourself as an executive, if that is you. So make sure you take the time. Kelly took the time to spend with us to talk about Notified, and you should take the time and invest in your business and at least find out if this is something that can help you. So until next time, I will see you guys soon with another solution for your business. I hope you're all well. And you know how to get in touch. Sand and Shores on all social media platforms. We'll talk to you soon. Stay well.